For months, fans had been asking the same question: why did King Yaman really return to Turkey? After spending so many years abroad, filming in Italy, walking red carpets across Europe, and building an international fanbase, his sudden comeback felt mysterious. It wasn't for a big premiere or a media event. There was something deeper, something emotional behind his decision. And now, for the first time, Ken himself is finally opening up about it. When he landed at Istanbul airport, the flashes from the cameras were blinding. Fans screamed his name, holding banners that read "Welcome home, Ken." But behind his calm smile, there was a storm. The man who had conquered Italy and become one of the most famous Turkish actors in the world was back where it all began, but not for fame, not for money, and not even for a new project. He was back for peace. In an emotional interview, Ken Yaman admitted that fame abroad had changed him in ways he didn't expect. He said, "When you're always running, filming, traveling, you forget who you are. I missed my language, my people, my streets, even the chaos of Istanbul." But as fans listened, they could sense that this wasn't just nostalgia. There was a reason he left Italy so suddenly, a reason he needed to return home at that exact moment. People close to him revealed that in recent months, Ken had been under immense emotional pressure. His schedule was packed with shooting for Sandokan, events, brand campaigns, and constant travel between Rome and Milan. "He barely slept," said one insider. He was exhausted, not just physically, but emotionally. Something broke inside him. Some say it all began after a project that didn't go as planned. Others say it was about someone from his past, someone who had once meant everything to him. Turkish media immediately connected the dots, bringing back old names and familiar faces. And at the center of all those rumors was one woman, Demet Özdemir. Ken and Demet's story is one of the most talked about in Turkish entertainment history. Their chemistry on Erkenci Kus was electric, real, unforgettable. Even years after the show ended, fans never stopped believing that something deeper existed between them. And maybe, deep down, Ken never fully moved on either. When asked if he had seen Demet since returning, Ken gave a half-smile and simply said, "Turkey is small." That single phrase set social media on fire. People began speculating that something might have happened between them, or might still happen. But insiders suggest that his return was less about love and more about healing. He needed to face the ghosts of his past, to breathe again without the pressure of foreign fame. During his years in Italy, Ken lived an extraordinary life. Lavish apartments, luxury cars, magazine covers, and red carpets became his normal. Yet, as he once confessed in an Italian interview, success feels empty when you don't have anyone to share it with. That sentence, which went viral across Europe, showed a side of him few had ever seen, the vulnerable man behind the perfect smile. Back in Turkey, Ken spent his first days away from cameras. He visited old friends, had coffee in small local cafes, and even returned to the gym where he trained before becoming famous. Locals said he looked calmer, more grounded. "He was just Ken again," one fan said after spotting him in Nisantaşı. "Not the celebrity. Just the guy who once dreamed big." But there's another layer to this story, his family. Ken's relationship with his parents has always been private, yet sources close to him confirm that he deeply missed his mother. During his time abroad, he often spoke about her strength and the values she taught him. One insider shared, when his mother had some health issues, that was a turning point. He wanted to be closer, to support her, to be a son again, not just a star on a poster. For Ken, returning to Turkey wasn't a career move. It was a heart move. He wanted to reconnect with his roots, his loved ones, and maybe even with the version of himself he had lost somewhere along the way. His team initially tried to keep the trip low profile, but in today's world, that's nearly impossible. Within hours of his arrival, hashtags like #KenYaman and #WelcomeKen were trending across social media. Fans flooded his comment sections with emotional messages: "We missed you, Ken, Turkey is not the same without you, please never leave again." But even as fans celebrated, others noticed something else: his tone had changed. He wasn't the same fiery, outspoken actor from years ago. His words were softer, deeper, more reflective. In one recent post, he wrote, "Sometimes you need to leave everything behind to realize what truly matters. Coming home doesn't mean going backward, it means finding your center again." That caption, simple yet powerful, became a quote shared across thousands of fan pages. It captured his transformation perfectly. Of course, the Turkish press wasted no time speculating. Some claimed he was preparing for a new series in Turkey. Others insisted he might even start directing. But when asked directly, Can smiled and said, "For now, I just want to live." It was a surprising answer from someone whose entire life had been defined by motion, deadlines, and perfection. Many also believe that Can's decision was influenced by how fame changed the people around him. In Italy, he became an icon, loved, envied, and often misunderstood. Rumors, false headlines, and media pressure followed him everywhere. He was tired of being a headline, said a close friend. He wanted to be human again. And maybe that's exactly what this return symbolizes, not a career restart, but a soul reset. He walked away from glamour to embrace simplicity. From red carpets to quiet mornings by the Bosphorus. From endless interviews to silence. There's also something poetic about the timing. In recent months, Demet Özdemir had also spoken openly about missing simpler times, leading fans to wonder if fate might once again bring them face to face. "They're both older now," one fan commented. "Maybe now, they'll finally understand what they couldn't before." Whether that happens or not, one thing is certain, Can's return has reopened old emotions, both for him and for those who have followed his journey since the beginning. He has already been seen meeting with Turkish directors, but according to his close circle, he's being selective. He doesn't want to take just any project. He's searching for something meaningful, something that reflects who he has become, one insider revealed. He wants his next role to tell a story that feels true. Fans can expect to see a different Can Yaman in the future, not just a romantic lead, but a man who has lived, lost, and learned. In every interview, his tone suggests growth. The anger and defensiveness that sometimes characterized his earlier years are gone. In their place, there's maturity, calm, and purpose. Still, when asked about Italy, he speaks with gratitude. "Italy gave me everything: love, fame, friendships, and lessons. I'll always be thankful. But at some point, your soul tells you where you belong." Those words hit differently. Because for Can, Turkey isn't just a country, it's his foundation. It's where his story began, and perhaps where it will begin again. In the following weeks, he was spotted at local events supporting young Turkish filmmakers and visiting animal shelters, a cause he has quietly supported for years. "He looked peaceful," said one fan who met him. "It's like he finally exhaled." Maybe that's what all of this was about, finally exhaling after years of holding his breath in the whirlwind of fame. When asked if he regrets anything, Can paused and said, "No. Everything I went through made me who I am." But sometimes, you realize the place you were running from was the one you needed all along. It's a sentence that perfectly captures his emotional journey. He had to go far away to understand where he truly belonged. Today, as he walks through Istanbul again, the world sees not just a star, but a man who has learned to listen, to his heart, to silence, and to home. And maybe, just maybe, this return is the start of his most meaningful chapter yet.